My name is Chill Panic, and I've had my heart broken more times than a diabetic child working in a candy shop. And this is Behind the Track. Behind the Track. This is You Cried a River, I Bled an Ocean. So majority of this song happened in one 6-hour studio session. The vocals too. I recorded these vocals back when I was living in my 1-bedroom apartment. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff in here. So this is one of those ones where I think, even if you haven't heard the song yet, that you could learn a lot from. So here's the chorus. I've bled oceans in your name. This shit just hit. The first interesting thing going on here is the guitar. I've got like 4 or 5 different guitar parts, and these are all from a Contact library. Shreddage 3 from Impact Soundworks. I don't have it on this computer, unfortunately, because this computer sucks ass. I'll show you the very beginning. It has these 2 guitars. Just so emo already. So we have this. And then we have this. And I think one thing you can really take away from this project is how realistic the guitars sound when they're all together. But by themselves, they don't sound as realistic. And when you're working with something like this, until technology gets better, there's some things you have to do to make them all come together and sound like this. Actually, that doesn't sound extremely realistic, but in context with everything else. It kind of does. I think a lot of that came from the rhythm of it. The dun 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 dun. Everything is syncopated. And I have these octaves going on right here. And then I have power chords. And then I have whatever this is. I don't remember. Oh, I think I kind of resampled the intro melody to make it. I just like put that same melody in there and then cut it off every time it does. You know, the dun 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 dun, that type of rhythm. And then we have the guitar harmony. So these 2 are basically the same exact melody from the beginning. Another thing that gives this a realistic vibe is the drums, because the offbeat rhythm of it. The rhythm is kind of weird. So I was listening to a lot of early 2000s rock to get some inspiration for this. And one thing I noticed that you hear a lot in rock that you don't hear in electronic music or music produced on a laptop like this is that there's always like the snare goes on the 3 or the snare goes on the 2 and 4. You know, it's like do 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 do, or it's do do, or it's do do do, you know. So with this, I wanted to accent the rhythm of the guitars with the snare. So it's da da da. And then right here, it's like a good combination of chaos and order right here, because it goes from this like chaotic drum pattern to the classic, like the snares on the 3 and having a regular rhythm. And that lines up with everything, because whenever it goes to a steady rhythm, the guitars chill out a little bit and they have that long sustain note. And the vocal chop does the same exact thing. So when you do that, you're hitting with emotional chords with a fast rhythm and then going into a slower, less chaotic rhythm, more stable, so you give people something to hold on to. So you're going from this craziness, and that's ear catching, and then you go and you chill out a little bit and give people some safety. And then also I even have the cymbals following the same thing, and they get completely, everything gets completely muted in these sections in between the notes. So everything is following the everything is in support of the vibe. I want to show you this vocal chop too right here in the beginning. That's actually a splice sample. I took that. Let me see if I can recreate it. I'll show you how I did it. So what I did was I had the first part have the F sound. It sounded more expressive that way. And then I just cut the A's. To get into the verse, I have this little thing right here is this, which is just a reverse I made for my sample pack, 7 Tigers, which you can get on my Patreon. This is one of the sample packs I've made that I actually use all the time. Also got a bunch of glitches. I made that whenever I was doing a lot of melodic dubstep, which I found myself doing a lot of again lately, which has been really nice. So shout out to Lucy for that. She's kind of the one that got me back into it. So you can get that on my Patreon. So join my fucking Patreon, bitch. Then whenever we come into the verse, I wanted everything to chill out. So I have piano. That's the same melody from the intro, but it's just being played on piano. Then I have this. Which is the same melody from the intro, except it is time stretched, or it's not literally time stretched, because it's just the melody is half the speed that it was, pretty much. So I have the melody being half the speed while the chords are staying the same speed. And to me, that just gave it a very, I don't know, like, I wanted it to feel like you were going inside of my soul. And I feel like going inside of somebody's soul and their emotions would be a slow thing. I've got this vocal. And then I've got a low vocal. Eyes like a mother, why do you look so sinister, my love? I have those all pretty heavily tuned. The low one more so than the high one. And that's for 2 reasons. For one, I can't sing as well at lower octaves, so I have to tune it a little harder. Also, I don't care. I mean, I don't give a fuck if it's tuned hard. It's 2024. Get with the times, you fucking nerds. Apparently, I cut out the reverb right here for some reason. So sinister. Oh, because I have this effect come in. And then I wanted Sinister, my love, to really stick out, because that to me is a really powerful line. Because in my head, when I was doing my free write, it felt like my ex was attacking me through memory, if that makes any sense. And for someone you cared about deeply to look at you in a way that, in like disgust or with bad intent, is like, it's a very hurtful feeling. So I wanted that to really come across, which is why I also have a harmony come in right here also. Not a harmony really, I guess lower pitch with a formant shift. I think I was trying to emphasize the sinister word. We wander through catacombs. That harmony right there. We wander through catacombs. Damn, that sounds good altogether. Let's just give that a listen real quick. So sinister, my love, and with your hand, we wander through catacombs. That harmony was basically just this. We wander through catacombs. And then I put it into Melodyne and just fucked with it a bunch and just... I changed the formants on it and just pitched it around till I thought it sounded good. And that whole format shifting thing is something I like to do a lot. For some reason, it makes it feel like it cuts deeper somehow. A lot of what you do in production is trying to make sure the right emotions are felt and using all the tools you have. Could swallow up the sun. And then I have some reverb, automated some more to go completely wet when I say sun. Because I really wanted it to sound like it's getting big, and then that's why I have everything come back in. Then just... I have something that doesn't transition well pretty much. It's something that it catches you off guard or changes abruptly, because that's how grief works. When you're grieving someone, it's like you're fine for a minute and the next minute you got to pull over because you're fucking crying. That's why I had to keep that in there. Somebody even told me like, you shouldn't have had that little stop in there. And I was like, yeah, okay. So whenever name comes in, and apparently I accidentally exported the guitar with the vocal right there. Whenever name comes in, I have a harmony. Name! Because now that the chorus was hitting in full, I really wanted it to hit as hard as it could, and adding that little harmony really helped. I bled oceans in your name! Like, it seems like a small thing, but listen to it without it. Sorry. It just doesn't hit as hard. It's got so much more emotion with the harmony. I have the harmony come back and far away from love. Far away from love, I bled oceans in your name. Forever promise sleep far under the sea. And you'll notice right here in the harmony, it's actually not, it's like really choppy. Far away from love, I bled oceans in your name. And the reason it's so choppy is because I fucked up when I recorded it, and I was like completely off beat, and I wasn't about to record it again. So I just chopped it up. That's pretty much it. Far away from love. And you don't really hear that vocal, so I knew that you wouldn't be able to tell that it was chopped up, so it just kind of worked out. And then unfortunately I don't have Slick's vocals because I don't know where the fuck they are. I did this project back and forth on this computer and another one, so they got lost somewhere along the way. I can show you the instrumental for his part. Pretty much in the beginning it's the same exact as mine, because I didn't want to bring the rap drums in just yet, because for a minute and 17 seconds this has been an emo pop punk type of song. I didn't want to go straight into, okay, it's rap all of a sudden. And then he came in perfectly too, because he did the still breathing underwater, so I know that it's all lies. And then it pauses, and I can't believe, and it was just fucking perfect, because it was faster than my performance, which gave an indication that the song was changing, but it also wasn't too much at the same time, and it had a melody to it. So just instrumental. Shout out to Slick. He came in on that shit perfectly. Join my Patreon. So I have these rock hats right here. And I just penciled those in with MIDI with some samples I got from Splice. And let's see. That same impact from the intro. Same piano. And then I have these distorted drums that are also in the first verse. Which that's just, I found a rock drum loop on Splice, and then I just distorted the shit out of it, as I do with things. And then that's when the rap drums come in. I'm a little ashamed of myself because this is just a splice loop. But it's got my hats in there. I don't know, I was tired, man. I didn't feel like making a whole new drum pattern. But hey, the song did good. It sounds good. Got the emotion across. Who fucking cares, right? Me deep down. We got this little D&B sort of spot. So basically, the whole D&B section, music-wise, it's the same chords as the intro and the verse and everything. There's some vocal effects. Which was just a lot of chopping. That's just something I like to do. I like to, with songs that I'm really trying to get a lot of emotion out of, to me, it feels like it breaks some type of wall when you're listening to something and it's really emotional, but there's so much going on that you can't pay attention to everything because too many things are coming at you. I feel like that creates this sort of like confusion induction, like in hypnosis. There's so many things coming at you, it breaks some type of logical barrier. I don't know if that's true. I feel like you need that logic barrier broken to really sink into yourself. So that's why I do that. I have all that stuff going on, and then we got these drums. Also a splice loop. I put it into Slice X, and then I chopped it up a little bit, added some variation, but the main gist of it is a Noisia drum loop. And then I've got this little respace. That was not sound designed very well. I'm really trying to get better with my respaces. And then right here, this part, I don't know if it affected you guys this way or if you feel anything about it, but to me personally, it just made the outro what it is. I have these fake ass strings come in. With these staccato strings playing the same lead as the guitar, but like faster. And it just gave me this like Goo Goo Dolls, like Iris, gave the song a lot more of an emotional depth. And then at the end I have the staccato strings a little louder. And I have this like video gamey sounding synth for some reason, which is basically some chords in Serum with a bit crusher on it. So if you want to download these stems, then
join my fucking Patreon. My Patreon. Join my fucking Patreon. My Patreon.
Please sign up. I'm broke as shit. Please sign up. $5 is a little bit.
Join my fucking Patreon. My Patreon.